the class of 2013, the Bronx High School of Science. Today, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Saeed Amalia, President of Arista, our National Honor Society. For Saida, Bronx Science was certainly worth the trip. In the fall, she'll be studying English and political science at Amherst, and she hopes to write for the New York Times or have her own daily news segment with Anderson Cooper. Following the pledge, you're invited to join us in the singing of the national anthem led by Shanti Kumar. Shanti is certainly one of Bronx Science's stars. She's Sarah Shanti Kumar, known to her friends as Shanti, made her debut at Bronx Science stage when she was 4 years old. The company with which she was taking dance lessons rented our stage for an evening, and she performed there. She certainly knew what she wanted even at 4 years old. She's made her home on the Bronx Science stage. She's performed in the school play, 3 musicals over the past 4 years, girls varsity, gymnastics. Her true love, though, is writing, and she will be attending Cornell. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the national anthem. Where's the flag?
Okay. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Faculty, honored guests, parents, alumni, friends, and especially the graduating class of 2013. It's a proud day, kind of bittersweet day for me, but it is truly my honor to share it with you. Today's celebration is the climax of 4 years of your intense efforts. And I want to say to all of you, congratulations, a job well done. You're amazing. I also want to say a special thank you to the parents here today. They supported you emotionally, spiritually, academically over these 4 years of hard work, and we thank them for trusting us to guide you to this point in your lives. Thank them. I also want to acknowledge the teachers whom you trusted and loved and who motivated you to actualize what is your significant potential. As I look out at the class of 2013, I see young men and women who have proven themselves to be generous, kind, gifted, and truly, truly exceptional in many ways. You are certainly the pride of New York City, and I believe the hope of the nation. Each year at this time, and graduation ceremonies all over the country, speakers attempt to inspire graduates with words of wisdom, predictions for their future, advice for college, and beyond. I don't know how much those efforts go in or heard or taken, but I thought I'd give it a shot. I don't know what the future holds for you. I do truly believe that you are the leaders of tomorrow, and you will be leaders, every one of you, in your own way. Because if you're not, we're in big trouble. If you're not the leaders of tomorrow, then who would be? You're the brightest and the best. What do I always say? Best of the best. You are. I also wonder where the future will lead you and how you're going to get there. If I've learned anything in my almost 65 years of life, it's that the road to the future is very winding. The guideposts are certainly not always clear. And in fact, serendipity, plain luck, plays a major role in getting you to your destination. But I've also learned, and the philosophy that guides me in my life, and maybe some of you have heard me say this, is that on that journey, everything counts. Everything. Every single thing you do. I probably discussed this with some of you when we were talking about, those zeros for homework, or, the 65 that could have been a 95 and how it impacted on your GPA. And I said, everything counts. But it's also a philosophy, and it applies to much more than grades. It actually provides a framework for everything we do. What I mean by this is that every action, every decision, every moral judgment, every friend and enemy we make along the way, every kindness or act of cruelty, every choice, whether it moves us closer or farther away from our goals, everything counts. And your choices, your decisions, today, tomorrow, next year, will change your future. I don't know how many of you read The Picture of Dorian Gray. Anybody? One. Great. Oscar Wilde would be very happy. So let me give you a short synopsis. This is about a very handsome young man who sort of was in love with his own image. And he sat for a portrait, and the portrait was absolutely gorgeous. But he wanted to live a life of debauchery, good word for sin, immorality, hedonism, plug in whatever word you like. And he basically sold his soul and said, let my picture age, let my picture show the results of my life, and let my face remain beautiful. So he left the picture to record his sins so that he could stay forever handsome. and his wish was fulfilled. And subsequently, he was a gadabout, living a horrible life, being cruel, being mean, being immoral. And his picture displayed in horrible disfigurement the signs of aging and the misery he caused in his life. He became, in his picture, quite ugly. Since everything counts, somewhere in us, our soul, it's recorded. Every choice we make is vitally important. Some circumstances may lead us to believe that we have no ethical choice. Nonsense. Don't fall into that trap. And certainly don't be that easy on yourself. You always have a choice. And every choice you make will determine the person you become, what you stand for, what your portrait will look like. Today, tonight, home parties, when the aunts and uncles come over with the envelopes, family and friends will ask you what you will be majoring in and what career you will pursue. You don't need to know that now. You will make a global impact. No one knows really what they want to be at graduation from high school. They know what some of their passions are and what some of their interests are. But again, remember, that old serendipity is going to take hold one of these days. I do believe, though, that each one of you has the potential to make a positive impact in whatever world you choose to live in. You'll bring change. Yeah, what kind of change, though? What kind of change will you champion is the question, and how you choose to affect that change is important. Because, as I said, am I being redundant? Every decision counts. As you leave high school, you're beginning a new chapter in your life, and actually so am I. And it's frightening, at least for me, and risky. But then, life is risky. Know that risk is necessary, and to some degree, failure is unavoidable, even when we make thoughtful moral choices and work our hardest. It's how we deal with that failure, what we learn from the experience that's important. And know that success can always be retrieved from failure, because even in failure, how we proceed counts. I described you as our future leaders a moment ago, and leadership requires, prerequisite, one, to inspire and to teach so that change can occur. Others in your lives will be transformed by your actions, your example. There will never be a day in your life that will not require dedication, discipline, good judgment, and energy. And also the feeling that you can improve. In fact, every single day of your life offers an opportunity for improvement. And as you sit here, you're saying, give me a break. I'm graduating from high school. It's a little bit of a heavy load. It's a pretty tall task, evaluating every decision, especially against an ethical and moral backdrop, yes. And this evaluation doesn't come with a grading rubric. And there is no final grade. No one's going to stamp an A on your forehead. I want you to leave here today understanding, though, that without that final grade, how powerful you can be. Each of you. The trick is how you tackle the challenges that will come your way. How you choose to respond to challenges will define you. And by the way, being smart is just not enough. Living with this focus on the outcomes of your actions does require intelligence and knowledge and moral strength. But I do believe the important characteristic of self-awareness is courage. Leaders have courage. They're willing to put their beliefs, ultimately their lives, where their mouth is. You should know that people with courage are not always the most vociferous, the loudest in the crowd. Sometimes courage is the quietest voice, a voice of reason, a voice that says no when it's easier and more popular just to go along with the crowd. How we choose to respond to challenges is a measure of our courage and leadership. And for the best leaders, sometimes people don't even notice them. They just see things change around them for the better. They see their world transformed. These are the people, the leaders, who constantly say to themselves, "What can I do better?" They realize that change comes first within themselves and then radiates outward. They affect change with a hands-on approach. They ask, "How can I help you? How can I help you accomplish what you have been asked to do?" These leaders know that change is difficult and it often fails. But as I said, failure is a powerful teacher. You got to roll up your sleeves and realize every decision is important. The young men and women who sit here today have made the last 4 years count. They have succeeded in so many ways and changed themselves and their friends and their school for the better. 90 of you led the way in science research, and 6 of you were recognized as Intel semifinalists and 2 as Siemens finalists. We had 1 grand prize winner in the International Science and Engineering Fair, 7 winners in Junior Science and Humanities Symposium, 3 semifinalists in the Toshiba Explorer Vision, 23 finalists in New York City Science and Engineering Fair, 2 Young Naturalist Award winners. You led your school and motivated underclassmen to continue our tradition of scientific exploration. You excelled in the humanities as well, with 4 winners of awards from the National Councils of Teachers of English for excellence in writing. And there were only 155 winners across the country. We had a first place winner in the prestigious International Keats Shelley House Poetry Competition. And need I say much about speech and debate? 312 members of the speech and debate team had one of the most extraordinary years in the team's history. Consistently ranked by the National Forensic League as one of the top teams in the nation, we're New York State champions, overall school champions of the Tournament of Champions, the most elite championship, if I said the word championship enough, of high school debating, where we qualified 21 students, a national record. New York City Forensic League district champions in both speech and debate. And today, as we're sitting here, our teams are in the nationals in Birmingham, Alabama, and we have 2 teams of seniors in the final 10. And Mr. Cruz has been awarded the National Coach of the Year award. So they've done brilliantly. Give yourselves a hand. And leadership, I believe, comes from team efforts as well. And we have great leaders and great teams in the school, particularly sports teams. We have a New York State champ in freestyle wrestling, 2013 Class A Girls Scholar PSAL champion, soccer PSAL champions, 2013 Girls Varsity Volleyball PSAL finalists, division champs, boys and girls bowling, volleyball, handball, wrestling, golf, girls gymnastics, boys varsity baseball. Boys indoor track competed in the national, boys indoor track, second place in the borough. Girls indoor, outdoor track, second place in the borough. Great year for sports. Several teams also had undefeated seasons or superb win-loss records. Boys varsity bowling, 12-0. Varsity golf, 7-1. Girls varsity golf, 7-1. Co-ed varsity wrestling, 9-1. Girls varsity gymnastics, 21-1. Varsity handball, 12-0. Varsity swimming, 9-1. Varsity volleyball, 10-0. That's the boys. And other teams, other than sports. Kudos to Model UN, Oceanography, Robotics, WISE, Quality of Life, JETS, Euro Challenge, Fed Challenge, Mock Trial, Moot Court, Latin Honors Society, Oceanography, Math Team, Science Olympiad. Wow. Everything counts. Wolverine TV, keep on chucking. You're doing a great job, kept all of you informed. We had a great sing program, and our seniors wrote a wonderful production. Mocked me beautifully. I want to thank you for that. And you proceeded to give 2 wonderful plays. You Can't Take It With You in Greece. Our musicians also gave us wonderful concert this year. You are talented. Finally, and a most unbelievable accomplishment, this class, you guys, when we added up all your scholarship money, where's Mr. Ilya? This better be right. It's right? I can't believe it. The class of 2013 has been offered over $40 million in scholarship awards, and the total is still high. So today, everybody's going to shake your hand and wish you a successful future. I certainly wish this for you. And with your intellectual gifts and academic preparation, success should certainly follow. But a wise man, his name was Churchill, once said, "Success is never final and failure is never fatal. It's courage that counts." So today, certainly I wish you success. But more than that, my wish for you is courage. Courage to stand up for your beliefs when no one else believes. Courage to be kind when it's easier to be indifferent and insensitive. Courage to make the hard decisions when decisions are needed and change is certain. Courage to stand alone against group mentality when it's easier to be popular, one of the crowd, instead of taking the responsibility of a decision you need to make. I know you'll continue to be successful. I challenge you to be tomorrow's leaders. I wish you courage, and I hope you do remember everything counts. Thank you. Why don't you just hold that one? Okay. So now it's my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. Lawrence Young is an Apollo Program Professor of Astronautics and Professor of Health and Sciences and the founding director of the National Space Biomedical Research Institute and the director of the PhD program at Bioastronautics at MIT. He graduated from Amherst in 1957 with a certificate in applied mathematics, and he went to the Sorbonne in Paris. He had a fellowship there. He got his master's and PhD from MIT, where he worked on internal guidance systems at the Instrumentation Laboratory and on the problems of man-machine interaction at the Electronic Systems Laboratory. During 1961, he did eye movement research at the School of Medicine, University of Puerto Rico, and then joined the MIT faculty in 1962, where he co-founded the Man Vehicle Laboratory, which does research on the visual and vestibular systems and their interaction, flight stimulation, space motion sickness, and manual control and displays. In 1991, Professor Young was selected as a payload specialist for Space Lab Life Sciences 2. He spent 2 years in training at the Johnson Space Center and served as an alternate payload specialist during the October 1993 mission. In 1995, he was appointed as the first holder of a new MIT chair, the Apollo Professor of Astronautics. He was chairman of the Harvard-MIT Committee on Biomedical Engineering and Physics and the Interdepartmental PhD Program in Biomedical Engineering from 1972 to 73. He was visiting professor also at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, visiting professor at the Conservatoire des Arts et Métiers, Paris, and in 87 to 88, he was a visiting scientist at NASA Ames Research Center. He also lectured at Harvard Medical School and continues to be on the faculty of Harvard and MIT. I took a look at the professional committees and government committees that Dr. Young has in his credits, and it ran for pages and pages. And I was totally unimpressed. Nothing impressed me. There was one simple fact, though, that I came across that did impress me. In 1962, Dr. Lawrence Young graduated from the best high school in the United States. You want to guess what that was? The Bronx High School of Science. And I have his records here. And I want to talk about some of your grades. All right, so here we go. Permanent records, his picture. Let me see your Regents grades. Oh my, my. There's nothing here that's below a 90. You did well. And thank goodness, a 97 in physics, given all your credentials. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the illustrious Bronx High School of Science alum, Dr. Lawrence Young. You're going to need this because that one's not working very well. You want to put it in there?
Wow. Parents, grandparents, you should see the view from up here. What a fantastic class. What an extraordinary group of people. I'm not surprised but overwhelmed at the list of your accomplishments. Well, when you invite an old alum to come and give your commencement address, you can almost anticipate that he'll tell you about how great things were in the old days. And by the way, it was 1952.
Oh, did I say
62, yes. You made me feel younger, but it was 1952. So were they great in the old days? You bet they were. In the old school building you've heard about, we had a swimming pool. It was about the size of a half-size basketball court, and it kind of smelled like a laundromat. In those days, New York City had 3 Major League Baseball teams. And if you left class after about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, you could go into Yankee Stadium free back in the bullpen entrance. But that's about it. I mean, you guys are here in an absolutely incredible environment with a school and a faculty that is unbeatable. So relax. Relax, graduates. You're almost there. This is, after all, not just any high school. This is the school that's recognized around the world, from New York to New Delhi, from Cambridge, England to Cambridge, Massachusetts. In a short time, you're going to have your diplomas, and you'll receive the hugs and the kisses from your relatives that you so richly deserve. And whether or not you think you deserve it, you'll also be given the benefit of the doubt by virtue of having a diploma from the Bronx High School of Science. Now, a lot of lucky things come your way. I don't know if any others of you have been as lucky as I to be a participant in the space program and to see your friends and your experiments and apparatus go into space, but I have, and I have several mementos, and there's one that I would like to leave here. So I I'm pleased to present to the Bronx High School of Science this special mission patch. This is a patch for my crew's orbital mission, Space Lab Life Sciences 2. This patch orbited the Earth for 2 weeks in October of 1993. So please hang it in a place of honor. And And if you will, be sure to leave place for another memento, which I expect will be coming back this fall from Dr. Muratari's 3 sophomores who have an experiment which is scheduled to fly to the International Space Station. You guys are keeping up their tradition. So you may notice I have 2 buttons on this gown. This is the Bronx High School of Science Student Organization, 1950. Yeah, we were sort of organized, not the way you are. I was proud to be part of the SO, and this one that comes from MIT sort of sums up the marvelous attitude that both of our schools have. I don't think the TV will pick it up, but it says nerd pride. That really will sum up my message to you. I want to talk to you a little bit about heroes, about real people whose feats and approaches served as models to me. I began thinking about heroes here at Bronx Science in the World History classroom of a wonderful teacher named Herb Falkenstein. In those days, we all voiced our opinions, and this particular day, I'm thinking I was voicing mine a little bit more freely than most, and I've mouthed off about what's called the great man theory of history. The great man theory of history held that one individual could change history by himself, regardless of the force of popular opinion. So instead of correcting me, Mr. Falkenstein did something very, very important. He loaned me his copy of the classic book by historian Thomas Carlyle to read. This book, which is called On Heroes, Hero Worship, and the Heroic in History, explained how history turned on the decisions of, quote, heroes. He stated that the history of the world is but the biography of great men, that heroes shape history both through their personal attributes and divine inspiration, he claimed, using as examples Mohammed, Shakespeare, Luther, Rousseau, Napoleon. Carlyle also felt that the study of great men was profitable to one's own heroic side, in his words, that by examining the lives of such heroes, you could not help but uncover your own true nature. Carlyle was wrong. He was so clearly wrong about the historical perspective. Herbert Spencer and then William James and other scholars pointed out that his viewpoint was hopelessly childish and unscientific. That in fact that the men that Carlyle called great men were merely products of their social environment. You know, and the truth, as in most issues of this complexity, lay in between. The important thing for me, not just that it began having me think about heroes, was what a great way for Mr. Falkenstein to teach, to lead me to discover for myself. Learning to learn is what we currently talk about in higher education. Let students realize that they, meaning you, have the ability to attack new challenges and to discover the answer by themselves. So, thanks, Mr. Falkenstein. Now, as to the facts and figures you learned in the classroom for these past 4 years, you'll forget most of them sooner than you might imagine. What you will hopefully retain, however, is the conviction that solid scientific thinking needs to be applied to challenging problems. There was a recent survey of MIT alumni in engineering which found something very sobering. What did they retain 5 years after graduation that they found to be of value? It was professional skills, independent thinking, teamwork, and communication. It was not the technical knowledge that they learned in their classes, and this from MIT. As graduates of Bronx Science, if we're lucky, we retain the ability and confidence to reason logically rather than to react emotionally. We can apply scientific judgment to old problems old problems like collapsing bridges on the interstate, or current problems like climate change, or emerging problems like exploring Mars or protecting Earth from everything from microbes to asteroids. As I said before, we learn to learn. Now let me be specific about some heroes, personal heroes, not because they influenced history, but but their particular dedication to science and education influenced me, and maybe it'll cause you to think. At first, the heroes, of course, were sports figures, but my dreams of moving into right field at Yankee Stadium's outfield were pretty much dismissed when I couldn't make the Bronx Science baseball team. So I did what I could. I ran track, and in fact, I know that I ran in this armory at one time, very slowly. And I became sports editor of the Science Survey, and I had a long career as a ski racer. But the notion of taking on a challenge and staying with it and staying with it and staying with it has been a great lesson from all of these heroes. So the first professional hero I want to tell you about was Edwin Land, the founder of Polaroid Corporation, the inventor of the Polaroid Land camera for taking instant photographs, a revolution in the days before digital cameras. Since childhood, Din Land was fascinated by light and in particular by polarizers. He left Harvard and went to New York, spent his time in the New York Public Library and had a small backroom laboratory at Columbia where he worked on what are called sheet polarizers. Up till then, they were all rigid plates. Returned to Harvard where the head of the physics department gave him a lab to work in, and by age 25, he had sold the use of polarizing sheets to Kodak for use on their cameras, and then to American Optical for glare-resisting sunglasses, which many of us still wear today. Long before his instant camera, he worked on reducing the glare of incoming headlights from automobiles with cross polarizers. What most influenced me, however, about Din Land happened later in his career when he began to study color vision and apply his knowledge of physics to it. And he proposed a highly original and, I must say, very controversial theory of color vision called the Retinex theory. It held that you could reproduce the entire spectrum of colors by use of only 2 wavelengths of light rather than the 3 that had been considered as classical. His demonstrations caused jaws to drop. It seemed like magic or a trick, whether it was at a scientific conference or a stockholders meeting, but it was real. When he was called upon by President Eisenhower to advise on how to keep track of the missile and bomber buildup of the Soviet Union, he, together with Jim Killian, who was then president of MIT, came up with the plans for the audacious U-2 spy plane and its advanced camera, and subsequent reconnaissance satellites that would be needed once the U-2 was shot down, as he knew it would be. He's first on my heroes list because he doggedly pursued practical applications of his technological advances. Light and color perception, physics, optics, neurophysiology, they were all part of his obsession, and the world benefited from it even after his stockholders failed to do so. And of course, Din Land had something which is relevant to my message to this graduating class. When he spoke to the Polaroid employees in 1942, he said, "If you dream of something worth doing and simply go to work on it, and don't think of anything of personalities or emotional conflicts or of money or other distractions, if you think of detail by detail what you have to do next, it's a wonderful dream, even though the end is a long way off." So you're probably thinking that you heard that before. Of course, Confucius told us that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Another personal hero was my father, Ben Young. He started out at Townsend Harris High School in New York, a highly selective public high school, a sort of predecessor to Bronx Science and Stuyvesant in the 20s. He later worked his way through law school and established a successful practice here in New York. Growing up, I faulted him only for worrying so much about his clients. It was kind of a downer on vacations, and he turned to me and he said, "Larry," he said, that's what my clients pay me to do." So that drove me only further into the determination to have a career in science. where, of course, the enemy was nature herself, and sometimes the funding agencies. He told me the same thing that many of you have heard from your parents, that success depends on luck. And you know what comes next. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Both he and my mother, Bess Young, were presidents of the Science Parents Association and started the college scholarship fund. And he urged me and then later my sister and her daughters, all of whom attended Bronx Science, to take advantage of this fantastic opportunity from this education and not waste it. And he hated waste. Let me tell you about 1957, just one year. It was a pivotal year for me. It was after I got my bachelor's degree from MIT, went off to Paris on a Fulbright, and I finally proved that Mrs. Schwager was wrong. Now, I'll digress for a moment. I looked at my high school record that you were, I think, kind enough to share with me. And what really brought tears to my eyes, aside from some of the low grades, was the signatures of these teachers, all of whom put their heart into educating me and my classmates the same way that your faculty has today. They were amazing, and we owe them so much. Anyway, Mrs. Schwager was my high school French teacher. She was wrong. She said I could never learn to speak French. But I did. I went to Paris. I learned how to speak French well enough not only to pass my courses, but to have a French girlfriend. The other turning point in 1957 was the launching of Sputnik, the first artificial satellite. And I turned to space research with a passion that has burned and kept me going for half a century since then, right through doing space experiments, astronaut training, and teaching. By the time I got to graduate school at MIT, I met my third hero, my thesis advisor and later my partner in a biomedical engineering company, Larry Stark. He was a neurologist who was convinced that mathematical models could lead to an understanding of complex neurophysiology. He came to Yale from MIT at a time in the 50s when cybernetics was just being born, and Norbert Wiener was kind of the Pied Piper who led us along that path. Feedback control theory, which came out of World War II, was finding its application in biology and medicine, and Stark's insight into human eye movements was remarkable. We could measure and predict how the eye would jump from one object of fixation to another, whether it was looking at instruments in a cockpit or examining some unknown terrain. We could predict how the eye would follow a target when it went behind something that would obscure it. For Stark, science was an enormous jigsaw puzzle, and he was privileged to work on putting together at least part of it. From this hero, I learned to appreciate the fun of science. And finally, I delight in telling you about my fourth hero, Professor Yao-Tzu Lee, who was my mentor at MIT and the man with whom I developed the manned vehicle laboratory 50 years ago. He was born into a privileged family in China, and his academic record in China brought him to MIT in the 30s to work on aircraft engines with the famous Charles Stark Draper, the father of inertial navigation and another one of my mentors. YT, as he was known, returned to China when the war broke out and was assigned to build aircraft engines under license from the Curtiss-Wright Company. He put together a factory in Kunming. It was bombed. He rebuilt it. It was bombed by the Japanese again. He rebuilt it once more and it was bombed again, and Chiang Kai-shek said, "Get your factory out of here, put it in a cave in the mountains." His trek to find remote caves, erect a village, provide electricity, and finally manufacture engines is the stuff of an adventure movie. He overcame enormous hurdles to manufacture the engines which equipped the Chinese Air Force during the Second War. Returning to MIT after the war, he and his brother, also an MIT professor, started several successful companies. He was the most innovative man I have ever known or ever heard of. Regardless of the technical problems, he would ignore previous solutions, start from scratch, and look for innovative solutions, innovative approaches. Our laboratory at the time was studying the human balance system, the balance organ in the inner ear, and YT immediately put those principles to use in creating an automatic balancing system for a very narrow wheelbase tricycle, which he felt would solve some of the transportation problems which were emerging in post-war Asia. When I took him skiing one day, he invented a bizarre-looking contraption in which there was a strap attached to the leg and a cable that went down to a hook at the tail of the ski. And all you had to do, he claimed, to turn was to lean forward and lean in the direction of the turn. Of course, he left it to me to try it out. And darned if it didn't work. And it preceded the modern shaped skis that those of you who ski are familiar with by over 40 years. From this hero, from YT, I learned to approach each new problem with a blank sheet of paper, looking for essentially new innovations rather than beginning with existing designs. So, what do these four people, Edwin Land, Ben Young, Larry Stark, and YT Lee, have in common? They all had ingenuity and the imagination to see an original idea through to completion. Rather than going back to the formulas they learned in school, they relied upon innovation in a process we now refer to as thinking out of the box. And most of all, they persevered. Those are my heroes. Those are people who've influenced me. Ask yourselves on this memorable day, who were your heroes? And if you don't have any, it's high time you got some. And some of them are probably seated right here in this armory. Think about them and emulating them. Edmund Hillary, who was the first man to climb Mount Everest, said, "You don't have to be a fantastic hero to do certain things, to compete. You can be just an ordinary chap, sufficiently motivated to reach challenging goals." So hearty congratulations to all of you, to your parents, especially to your teachers, and let's hear it for Nerd Pride.
Okay, we're just going to sort this out a bit. Our next speaker is an extraordinary young woman. During her years at Bronx Science, she has unearthed the joy that she finds in writing. She has written papers that were awarded medals at the Greater Metropolitan New York fairs, composed pieces and reactions in the Math Bulletin, and conducted research at Mount Sinai. She has had the fortune of participating in the Chemistry Olympiad and been in festivals and recited her poetry written in both English and Spanish. As a matter of fact, in a long conversation with her yesterday and Mr. Uceda, they've got some sort of blog going on where she gives him little clues and he's got to figure out where these clues lead in Spanish. Her activities include math team, monitoring the science forums. She's recognized as a Craig Sander Outstanding High School Mentor, and interestingly enough, she's going to MIT this fall. She has an interesting grade point average, 97.49. Ladies and gentlemen, your salutatorian, Reshma Mir.
My very dear mother, wait. Okay. My very dear graduates, friends, family, faculty, and distinguished guests. Being able to address you today is a true honor.
In a way, putting together this speech was like writing a college essay all over again. I wanted it to be personal, except this time, not just to me, but to all of us. To start off, in such an exciting whirlwind of moments and relationships, it can be hard to take a breather, and we all have to admit, these past few years, there's definitely been a pressure to work hard, study hard, grow up, and push ourselves. Freshman year in particular, I had this fear of failure, not of the traditional failure, like the red mark you hope to never see on your paper. Instead, I was worried about failing to understand what my heart beats for and what I want to do in life. In other words, I was worried about my intuition failing me and being worried all the time, of losing who I was, who I am, as a result. Yeah, I was a pretty freaked out freshman. I don't know if anyone else had or has this fear, but if you do, there's a quote by J.K. Rowling that I really took to heart and want to share with you guys. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. Failure, as she observed, is so intertwined with life itself that it actually acts as, call me crazy, an encouragement, a prodding to take necessary risks to achieve our dreams. These risks are sometimes the only way we've known we've done our best, gritting our teeth and pouring our hearts into something that we ardently love. We may or may not harbor uncertainties, but we all have dreams, for sure. So just drop this fear if you have it, and after you leave this hall, take those photos, step through the doors of your dorms, and eventually one day graduate from college, unless you pull a Mark Zuckerberg. Please don't lose what makes you special. You might be a beautifully compassionate and eloquent friend like Oma Bahari, or an effusive, honest individual like Nusra Ahmed, screaming down the hallways from pure happiness and not caring about what others think. You might be like Lee Wolfowitz, not having a mean bone in your body, since all the space is taken up by funny bones, or like Gary Dye, just strolling into class like it's nobody's business, with a banana, hungry, for knowledge, of course. Whether it's humor or compassion, stay true to yourself for the rest of your life. It's cliche to say, I know, but it's never cliche to actually follow through. Yes, you'll have your bad days, but sometimes you just gotta put on your sunglasses and say, hey, I'm Reshma, or, as some of my friends put it, I'm a scienceite, and I got this. Another thing to keep in mind is how we even reached this point. A great deal of our faculty are so dedicated to their jobs and to us, infusing their lessons with enthusiasm and trying to help us not only navigate high school, but also take the next steps in life, like college. I don't think there's ever been a class in which I haven't laughed, or at the very least smiled. I mean, where else would you have teachers who let you play with Legos to understand the structure of chemical compounds, recite some Middle English from Chaucer to a T, let you test your Spanish by watching El laberinto del fano in class, erase the board in such a way that you can understand the lesson with twice the clarity? Hey, they spared no expense. Like Mr. Prenner always says, it's for the children, and it always was. We should also take a moment to acknowledge the people we come home to every single day. I've been blessed with a good family. My dad graciously served as my alarm clock every single day throughout high school. And my mom, like every single mother sitting here today, is the best and most beautiful mother in the world. And my sister, she's my humble mentor and best friend. So sometimes we forget how much others do for us. And it's with the utmost sincerity and gratitude that we should say, thanks. As I close this speech, I want to send you off with a few quick notes. One is, I hope that if you haven't already, which is perfectly fine, you've got time, you find what you love. If you eat, sleep, and breathe what you love, work will never quite be work. Two, I would wish you success, but honestly, I don't believe in searching for that. After you find what you love, Just be great at it. Be excellent at it. Make it your passion and you won't have to worry about success because it's going to come bounding into your life. 3 is quite literally a note I wrote to a friend in a farewell card and adapted for this speech, for all of you. I hope she doesn't mind. We were enveloped by the hectic culture of Bronx science. The years passed us by like droplets of fresh water, coming to rest in the palms of our eager hands, but eventually slipping through our fingers as we said hello to new classes, new faces, and new struggles. Yet somehow we found time to unravel our thoughts for each other. It was an experience, a work in progress, that made me feel satisfied in a place where otherwise I might have felt out of place. I loved being your classmate, but more importantly, your friend. Know that as we go our own ways, we'll always have that special link. All that said, congratulations, class of 2013. I wholeheartedly wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Our next speaker is one of many multi-generational families we have at Bronx Science. His father, Jerry, entered the school when it was first opened in 1938. He was part of its first freshman class and was a member of the first full-year graduating class of the school in 1942. Jerry was a Bronx native, a proud alum, and served as a trustee on the Alumni Association board for many years until his passing in 2001. Our speaker's sister graduated from Bronx Science in the class of 1970. That was the same year he entered high school. His mother, Joan, served for 8 consecutive years on the Parents Association board, and the last 2 years as president of the association. She actually earned her own honorary Bronx Science degree. As for the speaker himself, it has been my privilege and good fortune to have worked with him since 2001. He's going to cry, by the way. He cries at every graduation. He's such a good guy, and he comes from such a wonderful family. After all, he's Bronx Science. His family gave us the nucleus and the impetus, and it was through his very own interminable nagging that we began our Holocaust Museum effort. He's a wonderful human being. He has a great career of his own, but he's never forgotten us. He is Bronx Science, Mr. Bruce Jakubowicz.
All I can say is thank goodness that Principal Reedy didn't read from my permanent record, because it would not have been pretty. Dear Principal Reedy, keynote speaker Young, fellow Alumni Association trustees and Endowment Fund board members, distinguished faculty, parents, grandparents, family members, friends, and most importantly, because after all, it is all about you today, dear 2013 graduating class of the Bronx High School of Science. Doesn't that sound cool? Each of you sitting here today has achieved something that few people ever do in their lives. You have graduated from one of the best secondary education institutions in the world, not just in the country, but in the world. Make no mistake about it. In attending Bronx Science, you are members of an elite group of students. In graduating from Bronx Science, you join a larger, but no less elite group of Bronx Science alumni. As of today, Each of you has something in common with 8 Nobel Prize winners. That's not only more than any other high school has produced, that's more than most countries have produced. You share something in common with Fulbright scholars, with famous authors, journalists, and distinguished professors, with elected government officials, with CEOs and leaders of some of the world's largest companies, with inventors and artists, musicians and writers, doctors and lawyers, executives and entertainers, and with everyday, regular people like me. You are soon to be alumni of the Bronx High School of Science, and I hope that each and every one of you is as proud of that fact as we are. In addition to graduating, when you cross the stage later on today and pick up your diplomas, you'll also become members of the Alumni Association. Probably one of the easiest things you'll ever do because it happens automatically, and in fact, your first year's dues are already paid for, courtesy of the Alumni Association. So what is the Alumni Association, and frankly, why should you care? Well, I'm glad you asked. First, who is the Alumni Association? Put simply, it's you. It's you and thousands of other Bronx Science students who graduated before you. It's that simple. When you think of the Alumni Association, don't think of some amorphous organization. Think instead of thousands of other 17 and 18-year-old students who ever since 1942 have graduated from Bronx Science and used their Bronx Science educations as the first step in achieving their dreams. They were just like you are today. Hopefully you'll be just like them in the future. What does the Alumni Association do? Our mission is threefold. One, we strive to foster a sense of community among all alumni. Two, we seek to strengthen the relationship between the alumni and the school. And three, we provide financial aid to the school to support academic and extracurricular programming. To put that last goal into concrete terms, during the past 4 years, as you worked hard, studied, took exams, and did all those things that helped you succeed at Bronx Science, your fellow alumni donated almost $4 million to the Alumni Association to help support your activities. We supported the programs you took, the activities you enjoyed, and the very facilities that you used at the school. Your fellow alumni have paid for all the technology within school, renovated and equipped science labs, funded the digital music lab, air-conditioned classrooms, installed all new lockers, fully supported the drama, robotics, speech, and debate programs. I would have to be one of those speed debaters in order to get through this whole list, but you get the idea. The list goes on and on. So other Bronx Science students who graduated before you have contributed a lot to your Bronx Science education. But why, you might ask? I mean, it's awfully nice and all that, but why do so many of us who graduated from Bronx Science before you give our time, energy, and money to support the school and to support your education? What motivates us? In a word, pride. We are tremendously proud of our school and proud of the fact that we graduated from there. To be quite honest about it, a couple of us are still amazed that we graduated from there, but that's another story. We're proud of the first-rate education we got at Bronx Science, proud of the accomplishments of our classmates over the years, and quite frankly, we're proud of you as well. We're proud of the way you've continued to win Intel Awards, continued to earn admission to the top colleges and universities in the nation, and continued to maintain Bronx Science's reputation as among the best secondary education institutions in the world. And we are determined to give back to the place that gave so much to us. So, how can you help? I knew you'd want to know that. That's why I wrote this next section here. First, I'm happy to tell you it's not all about money. Money is important, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot that you can do to help next year's graduating class, as well as other ones after that doesn't take any money. The best thing you can do that doesn't require financial commitment, get involved. Register on the Alumni Association website. Participate in our programs. Send us emails. What you learn as college freshmen next year can help next year's seniors as they go through the college application process that you recently completed. But don't stop there. Send us your stories. Use the class notes section of the Alumni Association website to let your classmates know what you're up to. I know you're all on Facebook, but Facebook only connects you to people who you've already identified as friends. You'd be amazed how many opportunities can come your way from people who you're not friends with on Facebook, but who are Bronx Science alumni. By the way, we're on Facebook too. If you go to facebook.com/Bronx Science, you can join 7,000 fellow alumni. It's a great place to keep in touch, learn about what's going on, and network with others. In addition to Facebook, you'll find thousands of more alumni on LinkedIn and Yahoo groups. Join them, and one day they may be very helpful in helping you find a job after college. You never know. And yes, when you're able to, do what thousands of Bronx Science alumni before you have done, and contribute your hard-earned money to help ensure that tomorrow's students, kids who are just like you are today, have the chance to get the most out of a Bronx Science education as well. I'm happy to tell you that the average contribution to the Alumni Association is less than $100. What makes us succeed is that almost 30% of all alumni pay dues or otherwise donate. That's a tremendous rate of participation, and I hope that each of you will join us in the years to come. So as you head off to college in August, just a couple of months from now, be proud that you graduated from Bronx Science. The rest of us still are, no matter how many years it's been since we graduated. Be proud that you have what it takes to succeed at one of the best schools in the world. By the way, here's a tip. Keep Bronx Science on your resume, not only after you graduate college, but throughout your careers as well. Some people will tell you that you don't need your high school name on your resume, and that's true, but only if you went to a normal high school. We Bronx Science alumni, we look out for each other, and you'll be amazed at the doors that open for you and the conversations that get started simply because someone recognizes you as a Bronx Science alum. Before I close, let me take just a moment to recognize two individuals who've each given, quite literally, decades of their lives to Bronx Science, and who exemplify the values and high standards for which Bronx Science is known worldwide. School Principal Valerie Reedy and Alumni Association Executive Director Linda Clayman Landy have led our school and our Alumni Association through both good times and bad throughout their many years of service. Leadership is not easy, and it is not always fun. Being a leader means doing what you think is right, even if it is not always popular. These two individuals have taught us all lessons, not only by their words, but also by their deeds. And on behalf of the Alumni Association, I want to thank them here today at what is, for each of them, their last Bronx Science commencement exercise. Valerie and Linda, words cannot express the appreciation we have for all you have done for us, for the school, and most importantly, for our students. In closing, let me congratulate all of you on your graduation today. I wish you the very best of success in college and the years to follow, and welcome to the Alumni Association. Thank you.
A lot of people to thank today. One person is responsible for just about every good thing that happened to you this year. Working backwards, today, it's not easy to pull this together. Those of you who were here for practice know that this place didn't quite look the same as it does now. The flowers, the sound, the fact that the air conditioning is kind of on. All that is his doing. Those of you who attended prom at the Waldorf, spectacular event, all that his doing. Your spirit days in school, all that his doing, and on and on. This is a gentleman who really revels in your celebration. And he celebrates our seniors every year with very, very little sleep in the fall semester. Your yearbook, which is always and invariably a work from his heart and his team's heart and wins prizes galore, is doing. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give great thanks to your senior advisor, Mr. Alex Thor.
Thanks so much. Teachers at term's end are always a little sad, and I'm quite melancholic as I realize this is your last time together in one room with me, with your parents, together as the class of 2013. There's a wonderful line in Goethe, the great German romantic poet, which is quite applicable to your situation at this precise moment in time. Goethe's line in the original German is "Alles naht wird fern," meaning everything near becomes distant. He was referring poetically to the evening twilight, those few magical moments between nightfall when things closest to us become dark and invisible. In a more general and philosophical sense, you could say that he was referring to life as well. Everything near becomes distant. In a few more minutes, you, the class of 13, will march out of this hall as a complete class for one last time, the last time in your lives. This is very sad, but it's also a cause for celebration, since the memories that you've gained during your 4 years here, the teachers who have inspired you, and the realms of knowledge that you've gained will not fade away, but will sustain you over a lifetime of troubles and triumphs. In closing, on a personal note, I want to let you know that the class of 2013 is one of the most extraordinary I've come across in the last 12 years that I've been at Bronx Science. Whether it was working with me on the best yearbook of the most excellent quality, which right now is pulling up to the loading docks of Bronx Science and you'll get next Wednesday, dancing at a fabulous prom at the Waldorf, all of you have helped to make the end of the year a rousing success. You accomplished everything that you set your mind to, and I thank you deeply for that. And parents, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for sending such brilliantly gifted students to us at Bronx Science. We teachers are lucky enough indeed to be privileged enough to teach them, although truth be told, your children often teach us far more than we teach them. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, class of 2013, and I'll always remember you.
Our next speaker can perhaps be described as shy. Try. He was born in South America, attended a small school in the United States before attending Bronx Science. Most weekends, he's not at home, although he is this weekend. He spends it with our debate team at tournaments around the country. The titles he accumulated include the Final Four of the New York State Championship, the Malcolm A. Bump Memorial Tournament, and the Emory University Tournament, finals of the Mid-America Cup and Iowa, and twice qualifying to the most elite national championship tournament. He captained the Lincoln Douglas squad for 2 of his 4 years that he was on it, and in between he prepared for and participated in debates. But he still found out a way to get decent grades. Mr. Cruz, his debate coach, has said that over the 4 years he has watched this young man transform himself and to use his significant talents for the good of Bronx Science. He has, let me see what it is, a 98.28 GPA. Wow. He will be studying chemistry at Harvard. And ladies and gentlemen, he is your valedictorian, Shai Stolansky.
My people have a saying: those who sow their seed in sorrow reap their harvest with joy. As I stand here, reflecting on all that the future holds and all of our collective successes, I hope desperately that it doesn't work in the opposite direction as well, because my years here have held so much joy. Though now we are college-bound seniors, we entered the school as confused freshmen, unable to navigate the halls that form neither a T nor an F. We laughed when Miss Reedy asserted, "You are Bronx Science." We still laugh. But in guiding us through that transformation, Bronx Science taught us many things. How to deal with heavy workloads, to perform experiments, to write papers. But enough about the past. In 1943, Sartre wrote that man is condemned to be free, and that is more poignant than ever as we prepare to enter college. The opportunities are nearly limitless, but so too is the pressure to choose wisely. The message up until now was to take more AP classes, volunteer, seek out a leadership position in a club. You have to be well-rounded to get into college, you see. Well, I don't know about you, but I happen to like my corners. There will always be pressure, and only some of it will make sense. Sometimes it is good. It can be motivating. But other times it is dangerous. It can drive you to despair. As the pressure keeps rounding you out, you'll find it harder to fit into life's square holes. And so I propose taking a simple measure. Whenever you're about to do something, ask yourself why it is that you're going to do it. It was at this point in writing the speech that I asked myself why I was about to get up here. I think I'm supposed to motivate you or something, but Reshma did a pretty good job with that. Instead, I hope to leave you with a nugget of wisdom. And since I'm a vegan, let's make it a meat-free nugget at that. As you prepare to dive into the deep end of the pool, don't forget to take your identity with you. It's like a bathing suit. Your authentic self shields you from the prying eyes of others, from the ebb and flow, the splashes that others make, the current that the pressure creates. It helps you delineate you from everyone else. Keeping who you are in mind can help put the pressure into perspective. At the end of the day, the reason we write the papers, join the clubs, and play the sports is to become better at being who we are. Explore possibilities. Develop the tools to pursue your projects. Find out what you like and what you don't. For instance, you'll notice I'm not wearing a sash. Immanuel Kant proclaimed, "The two things that fill him with awe are the starry heavens above him and the moral law within him." For you, it might be chemistry or poli-sci. Regardless of what you choose, don't forget that there are other fields as well. The pressure on you is not only external. As enticing as it may be to devote yourself fully to one major or to preparing for one career, experiencing a variety of disciplines can help you find new interests and is easier than ever when you're surrounded by courses like physics for poets and poetry for physicists. I don't mean to discredit physics for physicists. And it can even prove itself useful. In 2004, a girl by the name of Tilly Smith was vacationing on Mai Khao Beach, a popular area in Thailand. She saw the ocean water receding and recalled a geography lesson from a few months ago. Of course, at the time, she said to herself, "I'm never going to use this." But she still paid attention and was able to correctly identify this as the precursor to a tsunami. She told the lifeguard who evacuated the beach, and a few minutes later, the tsunami that was to kill hundreds of thousands reached the coast, but no one died on Mai Khao Beach. Now, this is not to say that taking a philosophy class will help you save the world, but it is nice to be able to answer when Mr. Perna asks, 1 + 1 Bronx Science students? Learning for its own sake has a place. For me, that place has extended onto the stage. Who knows where it will take you? I will now interject a number of thank yous. First, to parents, both in general and mine specifically, for your 18 years of support and dedication. Second, to Mr. Cruz. The amount of effort that he selflessly dedicates to us students cannot be overstated, and the results are truly remarkable. In fact, he's currently in Alabama accompanying debaters at NFL Nationals in listening to a speech appreciably more insufferable than this one. Third, to Mr. Thorpe for putting all of this together. In his honor, a Thoreau quote. "Many men go fishing all of their lives without knowing it is not fish they are after." Hopefully you can avoid falling into this pit, both because it will keep you from being happy and because it's mean to the fish. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Ms. Darby McHugh, College Coordinator and Guidance Counselor.
On June 3rd, there was an awards ceremony held for the senior class at Bronx Science. You'll find the recipients of those awards in your booklets on page 4 through 9. And at this moment, I would like to recognize the students who received awards on that evening with a round of applause. And now Ms. Nye will present the graduates.
We now come to the moment that everyone has been waiting for. Principal Reedy, it is my great honor to present to you the candidates for graduation from the class of 2013. They have passed all requirements and are now worthy of graduation. You guys rock.
All right, so if Jennifer Kopp, the official class reader for D01, could come up to the stage, and if D01 could line up on this side of the stage, and once they start coming up, D02 will line up behind them, and so on and so forth.
Hello, I am Jennifer Kopp, the reader for official class D01. Michael Blenner. Nicole Bogdan. Wilson Cho. Smith Chongvanich. Susan Guan. Kelvin Su. Morgan Su. Roki Hu. Andrew Jai Singh. Monica Kim. Thomas Labradette Liaresk. Daniel Ligori. Gabriela Lopez. Katie McCreesh. Juliette Mullen. Pratyusha Mutyala. Kenji Nagasawa. Simran Pavla. Ian Persad. Nuri Ra. Danielle Riley. Mike Shee. Ethan Singh. Maliha Sultana. Katerina Trout. Nicholas Zalas. Nicole Viro. Demi Varis. Andy Wang. Katie Wang. Alan Wong. Daniel Yearwood. Jennifer Kopp. It is my privilege to introduce Lee Wolfowitz as the reader for official class DO2.
Hello, I am Lee Wolfowitz. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The reader for official class DO2. Mariam Ansari. Benjamin Barrage. Thomas Baruti. Gina Del Gigante. Siobhan Donahue. Benjamin Erickson. Adam Freilich. Saul Iofi. Jimmy G. Syed Jipu. Ivy Lee. Eric Lozano. Jacob McDonald. Yuki Minami. Anwar Monroe. Paul Nam. Anthony Okanemi. Bar Orone. Alice Park. Nadila Persad. Atiyar Rahman. Carlos Ramya. Dion Ramsamy. Michaela Ritz. Nalicia Saw. Aaron Sherbakov. Sukhjot Singh. Shai Zulansky. Bobby Tang. Okay. Carly Yu. Shai Zhang. Steven Zhang. And Lee Wolfowitz. It is my privilege to introduce Anastasia Kaztaridis as the reader for official class D03.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Kazarides, the official homeroom reader for official class D03. Toasta Hassan. Oh, Janelle Bonner. Julian Brahimi. Jillian Carling. Aaron Chu. Soom Das, Juliet Eldred, Kate Fruitman, Charles Getz, Hunuk Jung, Hee-Wong Kang, Hyuk Kim, Janai LaVille, Candace Lee, Jessica Lee, Danny Lee, and Shad Lee, Leah Lagarder, Melody Leong, Jolyn Lum, Joanna Mendez, Liam Moore, Mary Alice Platt, Andrew Rock, Samir Siddiqui, Michael Shin, Sarah Pseudo-Pluns, Clark Tang, Hua Kim, Christian Ifante, and Anastasia Kazarides. It is my privilege to introduce Shirley Wu as the official reader for official class D04.
Hello, I'm Shirley Wu, the reader for official class D04. Shaquille Abdin, Benjamin Adebite, Michael Boateng, Eva Chen, Daniel Chi, Anna Chu, Jennifer Choi, Martina Cox, Michael Janchiawowski, Maria Friedman, Johnny Fung, Christina Galanopoulos, Tanasi Gomez Green, William Giracoche, Peter Hahn, Eddie Shu, Ashna Kara, Sung Kim, Jennifer Lee, Hai Tian Liu, Safranya Ma, Krisha Mehta, Lawrence Moy, Christopher Ong, Jaspreet Prahar, Raisa Rabani, Sophia Shi, Zeki Tanzel,
Justine Tatanko, Jai Jung Woo, Jonathan Yuen, Renhai Zhang, and Shirley Wu. It is my privilege to introduce Sharon Migdal as the reader for official class DO5.
Hello, I'm Sharon McDowell, the reader for official class DO5. Nelson Batista, Destiny Barisha, Marek Bugaj, Jessica Mei Wei Chan, Billy Chen, Ming Chen, Jason Cho, Tasdeek Chowdhury, Jaron De Leon, Gaurav Elongo, Zachary Fredericks, Masumi Islam, Sumaya Islam, Allison Jin, oh, no, she's not here. Mariam Khalik, Eric Hun Kim, Leah Liu, Carolyn Ma, Meho Machilo, Samad Maimon, Liam Nguyen, Zizan Pan, Jenny Chien, Masumi Reja, Uri Rosenshine, Julian Sitt, Madeline Tien, Tiffany Wong, Megan Zhao, Michelle Yuan Zhao, and Sharon McDowell. It is my privilege to introduce Isabel Genshaft as the reader for official class DO6.
Hello, I'm Isabel Genshaft, the reader for official class DO6. Lori Avital, Danya Birnbaum, Brandon Boniuto, Cliff Chang, Jackson Comstock, Samuel Gorey, Jerry Enriquez, Edward Komatov, Crystal Lamb, Noya Levy, Jenny Liang, Costa Lilik, Maribel Maria, Jeffrey Marks, Daniel Messner, where is he? Jasmine Morales, Kate Nassoff, Dionisha Nieves, Shirlene Pang, Amanda Tam, Joseph Thaurkan, Konstantin Chasnia, John Werdemer, Sophia Wool, Tara Wu, Harry Shah, Ludi Yang, Susan Yee. Stephanie Yee. Oh God. Sadman Zaman. Jackie Zen. Jenny Chin Russo. And Isabel Genshaft. It's my privilege to introduce Emiliano Bird DeMuro, the reader for official class DO7.
Hello, I'm Emiliano Bird DeMuro, the reader for official class DO7. Xavier Amarilye. Oma Bihari. Alex Kai. Nyan Chen. Jackson Finio. Simon Howe. Caroline Huang. Matthew Javali. Harimi Kang. Nello Keith Lang. Anne Hanako Kettering. Dana Cursor Yashin. Shi Yi Lu. Akil Muhammad. Caroline Mussel. Anthony Knopp. Edward Peralta. Joseph Pesco. Jarrett Prince. Shaidi Reyes. Ian Shears. Jacqueline Grace Piper Sharon. Herrick Silva. Anthony So. Aaron Tam. Nuang Satan. Faiza Udin. Christopher Van Eck. Daniel Vasson. Victoria Wong. Ifan Wu. Raymond Yampolsky. And Emiliano Bird DeMuro. It is my privilege to introduce Marielle Terre as the reader for official class DO8.
Hi, I'm Marielle Terre, the reader for official class DO8. Sham Bhatt. Kai Chen. Anna Cho. Melanie Collado. Camilo Galliano. Hamadul Ghani. Kelly Ho. Carmen Huang. Nabila Kamal. Mohammed Anas Khan. Raymond Koo. Kelly Liu. William Long. Becca McCord. Ray Million. Roman Mundal. Ujwala Murthy. Brenda Ingno. Daniel No. Nicholas Palazzo. Beatrix Parola. Ramon Regidor. John Carly Rentoff. Ezekiel Rosenberg. No? Okay. Karenna Schultz. Shoshana Shapiro. Louisa Slater. Dylan Small. Griffin Small. Raymond Tang. Song Shangwu. Daniel Zach. And Marielle Tur. It's my privilege to introduce Lauren Feiner as the reader for official class D09.
Hello, I'm Lauren Feiner, the reader for official class D09. Hejazi Asan. Alexia Alaralde. Raymundo Alvarez. Weiss Aramesh. Farhan Basim. Shreya Bhatia. Christian Carrasco. Brian Chen. Albert Deducci. Alejandro Guidos. Lubena Heather. Nadimo Hawk. Zishan Iqbal. Daniel Kodos. Gary Liku. Cindy Lin. Jessica Lin. Mariah Maldonado. Maliha Mamoon. Ning Kevin Mao. Rico Ng. Susan Ng. Monica Novak. Jinrong Pan. Indigo Sky Peppered. Jordan Selig. Charles Seo. Elaine Shum. Mohammed Siraj. Alexander Strong. Logan Verlack. Nicholas Wood. Kenny Wu. Lauren Feiner. It is my privilege to introduce Mubashir Khan as the reader for official class D10.
Hello, I am Mubashir Khan, the reader for official class D10. Megan Bushlow. Stephanie Carter. Viana Chan. Ru Yun Nancy Chen. Vicky Chen. Lance Cho. Julia Del Medico. Lily Dinkins. Nicholas Peter James Galatis. Eric Guardiola. Shamrin Hassan. Zarif Hassan. Billy He. Andrew Keeley. Matthew Kelsall. Farzana Khan. Shama Khan. Alan Kim. Jung Hwan Kim. Lydia Kukova. Mark Anthony LaRosa. Rana Lamisa. Emma Rose Sable Liebman. Yan Lu. David Montez. Solomon Q. Gary Tan. Hanji Tan. Navya Voletti. Emily Warren. Joshua Yellen Flaherty. Mubashir Khan. It is my privilege to introduce Anna Caravangelis as the reader for official class D11.
Hello, I'm Anna Caravangelis, the reader for official class D11. Daniel On. Jordan Bank. Nicholas Bukas. Rafael Chavez. Emily Chen. Alex Chu. Mohammed Farouk. Lucy Felder. Timothy Gao. Timothy Ho. Morgan Lee Pang Hu. Danny Yunji Hu. Michael Jiang. Stephen Ju. Adil Khan. Andrew Juwon Kim. Michelle Kim. Paul Kim. Sungju Steve Kim. Joseph Ledger. Harrison William Lee. Mohammed Mia. Sao Mir. Natalie Ng. Amanda Alyssa Ruiz. Pearl Shi. Kevin To. Vinesh Vora. Doris Wong. Shella Wu. Brian Yu. Nina Zhao. And Anna Caravangelis. It is my privilege to introduce Max Ridge as the reader for official class D12.
Hi, I'm Max Ridge, and I'm going to be reading for official class D12. Anaf Ahmad. Muhaimin Ali. Roger Antigua. Arash Asif. Kevin Chen. Aiden Chowdhury. Roxanne Chu. James Dolgan. Stephanie Ebrecht. Caitlin Finnerty. Jackie Gabler. Alex Green. Jennifer Jew. Alexander Kim. Linda Kim. Melissa Lai. Christine Lau. Casey Lipton. Philip Mann. Jung Woo Nam. Malithi Navaratna. Eric Ng. Marissa Raskin. Jarrell San Jose. Bailey Sheridan. Jamie Wong. Kimberly Wu. Adina Yao. Sylvie Uden. Sharon Zhu. And Max Ridge. And now it is my privilege to introduce Adrian Jaroki as the reader for D13.
Hello, I am Adrian Jaroki, the reader for official class D13. Sadie Alperson. Stephanie Aronson. Adele Badrin. Athena Buckley. Steve Cardozo. Victor Cheng. Sydney Chung. Gary Dye. Sun Deng. Kenny Eng. Gi Gao. Nanyu Guan. Yin Yan Guan. Andrew Hanna. Sean Hoban. Ryan Hugh. Nikora Kowal. Michelle Kwong. Olivia Lara Gresti. Yin Yin Lee. Benson Lee. Samantha Lubliner. Jenna Liu. Masim Mazid. Vincent Miselli. Gautam Ramasubramaniam. Zachary Ricklin. Ethan Ruby. Jonah Sirachi. Elizabeth Schaefer. Jinyi Tang. Ryan Yun. And Adrian Jiroki. It is my privilege to introduce Deepika Rao as the reader for official class D14.
Hello, I am Deepika Rao, the reader for official class D14. Jisan Ali. Anis Bai. Priyanka Banerjee. Ariana Enola Blakely. Nicholas Serini. Jeffrey Chen. Sheena Chin. Amzad Chowdhury. Andre Chuson. Mohan Dar. Chang Dong. Shajid Hassan. Michelle Hu. Daniel Huang. Vincent Huang. Marzia Imu. Manirul Islam. Jet Lem. Jacqueline Lee. Saida Maliha. Alexander Mihan. Rashma Nova Mir. Akshay Nevada. Shadman Quasi. Rashad Rahman. Daniel Rios. Norin Shaki. Alish Shao. Pratyusan Subramanyam. Misael Sildor. Shishbor Tassim. Casey Zhang. Rong Yang Zhu. And Deepika Rao. It is my privilege to introduce Michael Mazursky as the reader for official class D15.
Hello, I'm Michael Mazursky, the reader for official class D15. Zarin Buyin. Cody Butt. Matthew Buxbaum. Amy Chang. Alan Cheng. Matthew Chung. Karen Choi. Nancy Chu. Alexandra Graybell. Shafkat Haq. Alice He. Gregory Hilska. Chloe Hyman. Mahamitra Jagadesh Kumar. Manfred Joa. Daniel Kennedy. Andrew Juhyun Kim. Karen Lau. Daniel Lee. Harrison Lee. Jackson Lee. Catherine Louie. Anjali Pillai. Ghazi Saqib. Emily Tagarello. Kimberly Tan. Michael Umenta. Pablo Vasquez. David Verdi. David. Henry Yoon. Kelly Zhang. Victor Zong. And Michael Mazursky. It is my privilege to introduce Edwin Z. as reader for official class D16.
Hello, I'm Edwin C., the reader for official class D16. Jonathan Asbell. Anna Bao. Johanna Burstein. Emily Chan. Kwon Chan. Izzy Chowdhury. Lillian Chu. Joshua Glynn. Ekram Golfer. Gamal Hassan. Lauren Hom. Philip Ayakovu. Javon Jinkins. Jae Hui Kwan. Anjani Ladhar. Jingyin Judy Liang. James Lim, Victoria Pavlov, Barbara Ping, Mohammed Rakibul, Abshek Samdurya, Abdullah Sayed, Sebastian Soto, David Sullivan, Richard Taveras, Philip Toe, Joanne Tai, Evan Wong, Valerie Yen, Harley Zhou, Alan Zhu, and Edwin C. It is my privilege to introduce Chitampali Yashaswini as the reader for Official Class D17.
Hello, I am Chitampali Yashaswini, the reader for Official Class D17. Jeremy Alcana Azila Andriadis. Andrew Antona. William Avalos. Lawrence Chang. Kevin Chow. Devlin Chen. Rushama Day. Sasha Xiao Ding. Michael Hebert. Elaine Ha. Tanima Islam. Yeji Jang. Ian Kaplan. Elaine Lamb. Michelle Lee. Michael Levin. Anna Liu. Calvin Liu. Peter Majran. Teresa Mandrin. Kai E. Ni. Elias Strizauer. Patrick Tan. Margaret Wang. Jackie Yang. Shirley Yao. Justin Yoon. William Yu. Angel Yu. Xiao Yuan. George Zan. Xiao Shu Zhou. And Chitampali Yashaswini. It is my privilege to introduce Elizabeth Kim as the reader for Official Class D18.
Hello, I am Elizabeth Kim, the reader for Official Class D18. Nusrat Ahmed. Nicholas Arenas. Benjamin Baru. Justin Chan. Andrew Chen. Benny Chen. Jesse Chin. Karina Cruz Osorno. Feren Dial. Marsha Hu. Musfikar Kashem. David Kwan. Kevin McManus. Raymond Ng. Stephen Ng. Tiffany Ng. Richard Pack. Shivam Patel. Ashley Pimentel. Safer Rahman. Patrick Riley. Pavel Sabu. Fatima Saunders. Steve Sung. Amar Seo Parson. Lakshmi Singh. Kimberly Vong. Phoebe Wong. Jackie Sheh. Christine Yang. Matthew Yip. Janet Zhu. Elizabeth Kim. It is my privilege to introduce Nicholas Power as the reader for official class D19.
Hello, I am Nicholas Power, the reader for official class D19. Sonia Akhtar. Tyler Bell. Paul Chan. Thomas Chan. Vincent Chan. Jennifer Chen. Elaine Cheng. Curtis Chung. Judy Dong. Yash Gandhi. Alex Garcia. Liam Glazer. Neha Gupta. Rubama Hawk. Lotus Ho. Mushfeka Hoke. Navila Hossein. Suhaibit Koshik. Sara Shanti Kumar. Kenneth Lee. Samantha Lee. Harrison Liang. Francisco Kyoge. Janine Rahman. Alan Sheh. Ada C2. Tara Tahiri. Corey Tam. Kelly Tang. Eric Tun. Yvonne Volin. Jonathan Matthew Yee. Alvi Zaman. And Nicholas Power. It is my privilege to introduce Noah Morrison as the reader for official class D20.
Hello, I'm Noah Morrison, the reader for official class D20. Shajeda Ahmed. Rafid Azad. Abla Belachme. Eric Berger. Ann Chan. Frank Cheng. David Cho. Navjeet Dalawal. Daniel Donenfeld. Angela Gao. Saida Hawk. Brian Jimenez. Tulip Kabir. Abdullah Kamran. Esther Kian. Brittany Majorano. Nick Mamel. Sherry Uman. Ismail Umzil. Michael Pasalacqua. John Parati. Ashley Poon. Lucas Price. Jordan Reyna. Manjeet Singh. Kevin Cezura. Cindy Tai. Alex Santillis. Victoria Tum. Jomir Udin. Benjamin Wong. David Zhang. And Noah Morrison. It's my privilege to introduce John Bar DiStefano as the reader for official class D21.
Hello, I am John Bar DiStefano, the reader for official class D21. Charles Acuna. Hamza Ahmed. Anas Alokush. Jenny Isabel Ferreras. Cora Frederick. Nathaniel Green. Miaru Guan. Dipali Gupta. Kandakar Hossain. Alan Lee. Jeremiah Lee. Daniel Otto Leon. Alex Lee. Fred Lin. Andrew Liu. Christian Martinez. Zoe Mitrofanis. Nina Mortensen. Colin Penny. Eddie Perezik. Anahi Potrero. Hashvika Purushothamen. Kevin Sanchez. Arnost Wallach. Sarah Wang. Catherine Wei. Jeffrey Wu. Kevin Yang. Eric Young. Carolyn Zhang. Valerio Zhang. And John Charles Barr DeStefano. It is my privilege to introduce Bianca Hodge as the reader for official class D22.
Hello, I'm Bianca Hodge, the reader for official class D22. Rebecca Agrest. Nabir Amin. Tazib Assad. Rita Black. Graham Campbell. Barry Chow. Carrie Chen. Lawrence Chen. Esther Chong. Mark Cohen. Harvey Dye. Mike Deng. Daniel Gamara Munoz. John Gilhini. Nay Ning. Brett Goldstein. Shanique Gray. Carl Hiltz. Yuzi Hu. Tanvir Islam. Jay Jung. William Jang. Martin John. Steve Kim. Wen Jie Lei. Shannon Lau. Sharon Q. Mahmuda Rahman. Israel Sanchez. Evan Wu. And Bianca Hodge. It is my privilege to introduce Miami Rahman as the reader for official class D23.
Hello, I am Miami Rahman, the reader for official class D23. Ashley Abid. Danitza Andalus. Tiffany Chin. Matthew Dennis. Melissa Diodot. Edward Diaz Gomez. Rosanna Fang. Barry Hu. Alex Jastrob. Tassine Khan. Amy Lai. Kevin Lee. Diana Litsis. Kai Liu. Jessica May. Anna Mavshava. Andrew Ng. Jonathan Pagan. Nadira Rahman. Wali Rahman. Eli Rudovsky. Faiz Sabir Zaman. Krishan Sapkara. Daud Sheikh. Joyce Tang. Joseph Taglasi. Dominique Watt. Veronica Wayrock. Oh my God. Yvonne C. Darren Jang. Elaine Jang. Miami Rahman.
Before we go on, I think there's a group of people we need to single out and thank. These people are also teachers, but they teach a different subject. They teach personal kindness, stress reduction, how to winnow down a college application list from 25 to 15, how not to lose it when you miss a deadline, how you really find a difference when you study and your grades go up. These are people who, when you really need someone to talk to, they're always there. I know for a fact they sweat over every single letter of recommendation they write in order to make you sound special. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your guidance counselors. Now, I'm going to ask you to stand. Candidates for graduation. For all of you, and I assume it is all of you, who have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the Bronx High School of Science, by the power vested in me by the city and state of New York, I now proclaim you graduates of the Bronx High School of Science, class 2013. Please move your tassels from left to right. You are also in possession, you are now alumni officially. You are in possession of your alumni pins. Please pin the person without really pinching them next to you. Please put the pin on the person standing next to you so that you are an official alum. This looks hard. They get 97s in physics. We're having a hard time with the pins. Okay, are we set? Do not sit. This year's president of the student organization, Daniel Kennedy, will be leading you in your student's pledge. It's in your booklets. And Daniel will be attending Cornell University in the fall to study industrial labor relations. Daniel?
So could all graduates please turn to page 20 in your graduation booklets and read along the graduate's pledge. We, the graduates of the Bronx High School of Science, grateful to our city, our state, and our nation for the opportunity that we have had to grow and to develop as citizens in this society, declare our devotion to those traditions and ideals that have brought pride and freedom to the citizens of our country. We pledge to strive for a community in which all men and women can live and work in peace and harmony and with dignity and security. We also pledge to support and to uphold all laws of our city, our state, and our nation, which allow us to live as free people. Having learned in our schools the meaning of democracy, the value of our American society, and the varied contributions that our diverse peoples have made to the spiritual and cultural life of the city, we pledge our active support to those institutions and individuals that are dedicated to providing the best possible education for every child. Thank you and congratulations.
Now I'd like to invite the members of the chorus to the stage, please. Mr. Thorpe and the senior members of the chorus will now lead you in singing your alma mater.
All right, so if all seniors in chorus could quickly come up to the stage, please, to the microphones. Everyone else, the alma mater is on page 20 in your graduation book.
Science High Art School. Science High Art School, whose towers preach for truth and light. All for thee our hearts and powers solemnly unite. Hearken how the chorus heightens as our praises soar. Through the years our glory brightens. Signs evermore. In our hearts our name is graven, there to keep immortal. Hope and faith that found a haven, hidden in your portal. Hearken how the chorus heightens as our praises soar. Through the years your glory brightens. Signs evermore. Hearken how the chorus heightens as our praises soar. Through the years your glory brightens. Signs
Sit. It's almost over, relax. That sounded wonderful. What a voice. They were wonderful. So, alumni of the Bronx High School of Science, we look forward to reading about you, to sharing your lifelong accomplishments, I truly do want you to know that we are grateful for having spent the last 4 years with you. There were times when we certainly learned more from you than you from us. Go out there, have some fun, take some risks, have a few failures, and remember, everything counts. God bless.
All right, so seniors of the class of 2013, in just a moment, Verdi's Triumphal March will play, and all of you need to exit through these side ramps right here. This side go here, this side go here, walk around to the back, and there's big doors behind this stage. Go out through those doors, and you're going to meet your parents on the side street here, okay? And parents, if you can go through the exit that you came in, that would be great. Thank you so much, class of 2013. Congratulations.